Hello friends, just pulled up here at TnT Marine Center. Let's just take a little bit of a look around and talk a little bit about our favorite subject, and that of course is chiropractic. Let's hop out here. Just did a big training yesterday, and the training was about several different topics, of course. Hey, great day, huh? We were talking about procedures in the chiropractic office, how important they are. Now that seems like a boring topic, doesn't it? Procedures, oh, what's next? Well, nothing is next. Because when people go to your office, they're going for the procedures and the quality of the procedures. In fact, the quality of the procedures determines if people want to come back. The quality of your procedures determines if anybody wants to send anybody else in to come and see you. So even though it kind of seems like, oh, okay, what's next? It is the topic. And what I find is, in chiropractic, there's basically two things. There is what you can buy. You can buy equipment, you can buy layout. Howdy. You can buy all the different things for your office. But what we cannot buy is memorization. We cannot buy knowing what to say and when to say it. We cannot buy knowing what to do and when to do it. We're going to have to do some study. And to the degree that we study and memorize will determine how successful we are. I remember a movie years ago. One student was criticizing another student for studying so much. I mean, like crazy amounts of studying. And he was studying to be a medical doctor. And he goes, yeah, but when I'm over that patient and it's a hairy situation, I promise you that that kid's parents are going to be hoping that I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning studying. He's right. So we want to be able to get the work done. We have to be aware of really how important our procedures are. Let's take a look at a couple of them. We got to get that consultation down. The greeting, where we sit, our exact wording. Of course, we got to be able to explain chiropractic well, using a great model spine like we recommend and like we teach. We got to segue into the exam. We have to have our exam procedure excellent, right? I recommend, of course, the seated exam, gowned. It's always amazing people that would come in and see me and like, oh, nobody ever really actually looked at my back before. And they'd been to 3 other chiropractors. Are we supposed to check out people's backs, like really look at them, palpate, right? Of course, we're going to have to train and practice the procedure on explaining x-rays and what we're saying while we're taking x-rays. Even what we're doing during the exam, C7 down to the sacrum, all of the cervicals then, extremities, while the patient's talking and getting it out, explaining their condition. We're doubling up on our time. We're examining while they're speaking all the winner's edge procedures that are so incredible. Of course, they're sitting in a chair. They got the mirror in front so they can see me behind them. Very powerful, all the ways we do it. And we're going to get into a report process, right? We got to go over the problem. We got to go over the plan. We got to go over the payment arrangement. Here we are, by the way, TnT Marine Center. Thomas and Tomlinson, as in Johnny Tomlinson, the world powerboat racing champion. This would represent the center of the powerboating universe. The cigarette factory is right down the road, haul over Marine, and haul over Inlet are right down the channel here. Of course, this is the headquarters area for the Florida Powerboat Club, which I'm a part of. We'll tie back into that in just a few minutes. But we have to have all these procedures down. It means we're going to have to do the work to sit and memorize, and that's where things go south, because it's going to take work. Like I mentioned, it's hard to learn how to play a guitar, but any kid can sit down and start to play video games. See the difference? Which one's more impressive? There's very few things more impressive than someone who can play an instrument. By the way, as I'm standing here, let's check out this piece of hardware. It's a 42-foot cigarette. This boat just came down from the Lake of the Ozarks. Gentleman bought it up there. Had it shipped down to Florida. Now he knew he was going to have some engine work done. Mileage in boats is determined by hours. This boat had enough hours on it that the engines needed some work. Now this is a little bit different than a car, because these engines have to be removed, put on pallets, shipped up to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, every single part taken and spread out over a 3 or 4 or 5 month period of time, reassembled perfectly with anything that it needs for $174,000. It's a pretty expensive rebuild. This game is not for the weak. Let's walk back here. It's the first time I've seen it since it's been out after that works. Oh, sure enough, there we are. Oh yes. You see the drives are back on. Let me see if I can get the camera to get down there where you can see. Okay. There we are. The engines are back in. See the exhaust pipes. The M8 Mercury outdrive. And you see it's ready for the propellers to go on. Propellers are about $11,000 a piece, so you don't just let them sit around. So this guy's going to be excited to get back out there. I'm excited to hang out there with him also. My boat is also a 42-foot cigarette. Fortunately for me, the engines were already rebuilt before I bought it. And now they have about 100 hours on them, so I have to make a decision here whether to keep it. Because if I get close to 300 or 400 hours and someone knows they're going to have expensive rebuilds, it isn't the easiest boat to sell. All right, so I've got a plan for what I'm going to do with my boat. But that's a beauty right there. Remember, every single one of these is a masterpiece. Every paint job is unique. Every single one is an absolute piece of ultra high performance artwork. The Lamborghini of boats, you might say. As we hang out here and we're thinking about procedures, I look at this high performance stuff. I think of all the effort, all the planning. I think of the durability. See, these things can't just look pretty. They have to go out and work, just like you. You can't just dress up nice. You got to know what to say. You got to know what to do. You got to know when to say it. You got to know when to do it. So we have to be able to perform. And we got to learn. We have to study. We can't just go out there and just sing and start making up words. Here's these huge forklifts. Lift 30, 40, 50,000 pounds. Lift the boats in and out of the water. So we have to be able to do stuff. And that's the hard part, is we have to sit and do the work to learn all of these things. And it's much easier to watch TV and it's much easier to play on the phone than sit and study. So most chiropractors don't study much. Their procedures aren't very good. And their practice reflects it. See, now, an $80,000, $100,000 a month chiropractor, that's just average. There's nothing special about that. It's like, so what? That's what you're supposed to do. You get up around 200,000 plus a month, well then all of a sudden, now they're talking about something exceptional. And we've got the procedures and we've got the level offices to do that. Remember now here at Winner's Edge, we got the level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5 chiropractic offices. The level 5 office is the $200,000 per month office. I talk about it very, very little with very few people, because very few people are qualified to do that. Why? Because their procedures aren't good enough. They haven't put in the work. Oh, they want the couple $100,000 a month, but they haven't put in the work. Do you have any idea how good your scripting has to be to go to a level like that as a chiropractor? Are you kidding me? But I'm here to help people. I'm here to show them the way. Here we are in the shed. Let's take a look here. So the question for you is, how good is your consult? How good is your report? How good are you at getting people to continue care? All right, and you can be a lot better. Oh, look at them. How beautiful are they? Every single one is a masterpiece. Look at these incredible paint job here. This is a super cool one up here, this orange one. Oh, look at that. Every one is an absolute masterpiece. I love every one of them. I love what they stand for. I love the mystique. I love the brand. I love they tolerate nothing less than the absolute best in materials, best in power, best in design, best in upholstery. It's very, very valuable to be around it because it makes you better yourself. And that's the name of the game. And as we walk back here, just for fun, speaking of cigarettes, I will show you the top of the food chain. It happens to be here. This is way over $2 million. At least 2 years to have it built. It's just been delivered and there it sits. Of course, this video does no justice. No justice. Remember, this boat is 51 feet long. It's like as long as a telephone pole is tall. Does no justice when you see it sitting here. Look at that cool paint job. What an incredible design. So simple, but so powerful. I believe this gentleman has 2 or 3 boats. It's amazing how people have these as just toys. And of course, down here in South Florida, this is bubblegum compared to a $12 million yacht, which is bubblegum to the $20 million yacht, which is bubblegum to the $50 million yacht, which is bubblegum to when Bill Gates shows up with a $150 million yacht, right? Let's go back here and take a look at the iron really quick. Let's be inspired here. Craftsmanship, design, performance. This thing has got to go out there, all of these boats, and it can't break. You cannot get 200 miles heading down to Key West and bust up and be sitting out in the middle of the ocean hoping a helicopter flies over your head to save your tail, right? There it is. One name says it all. Oh my. Do you see it, people? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's going to be an expensive scratch. Oh, well, they have a gentleman here. Oh, another little one right there. Oh, well, it's all fixable. It's only money, right? And then, of course, here's the high-performance hardware. See the pipes. And, of course, these are the incredible ultra-strong M8 drives able to handle 2,700 horsepower twin Mercury Racing 1350s. By the way, incidentally, oh yeah, look at this. We're underneath my boat right now. There's the fire-breathing monster right there. In fact, this is kind of cool. You see, these are the water intakes right here. Suck the water in, pull it through the engine, and that's what gets spit out the pipes in the back for cooling. You see the incredible extended K-plane trim tabs on each side for boat leveling under high-performance conditions. Another incredible cigarette over here. Everyone's unique. Oh, isn't this a beauty? But it looks like this is being sanded down and ready for a little bit of a touch-up there. A gentleman who owns a boat like this is not going to tolerate any scratches at all, okay? That whoever owns this boat, okay, they didn't get here by tolerating scratches. Okay? And that's a lesson too. You got to look at yourself and go, what are you tolerating? Are you tolerating weak memorization, weak scripting, weak procedural elements, weak team, weak layout, weak equipment, weak money flow, weak payroll, weak accounting, weak giving, weak debt elimination, weak saving, weak image, weak team huddles, weak team meeting? See, you cannot tolerate any of that. That's what I love here. When I see something like cigarette, they don't tolerate anything other than the absolute best. And I have to sit there and go, am I tolerating this is sloppy and that's weak and this isn't good and I don't know how to do that? And see, you can't tolerate any of that. So I'm encouraging you to take a look at your procedures for everything that you do. Consult, explaining chiropractic, explaining x-rays, the exam, what you're doing while you're taking x-rays or what the team is saying when x-rays are being taken, the problem report, the plan, how we do the diagram, all the winner's edge stuff. Of course, the care plan, the office visit procedure, re-exam procedure, the re-sign procedure, the team huddle procedure, the team meeting procedure, the money flow procedure, the payroll procedure. Everything is a system and everything has a procedure to it. And once you get all those things dialed in and you get them good, they'll do the work for you. That's the whole point. This big training we did yesterday, 3 hours plus, I can't do it for people. All I can do is I've got all the stuff, A, B, C, D, E, and you'll have a big practice, okay? But you got to be able to be willing to do the work because you care enough about yourself, care enough about your community, care about family and friends, you care about chiropractic. Most chiropractors give a rip about chiropractic. They're trying to figure out what chiropractic can do for them. okay? Other than what they can do for their community, what they can do for themselves, and what they can do for chiropractic, you might say. There's one other thing I might show you here that's interesting. Going to the other end of the spectrum, talking about success right now. And there's success everywhere in this place. In fact, I don't know how they let me, the poor chiropractor, in here. Oh, actually, I belong here. But there's one other thing I wanted to show you back here that I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. This particular boat is one of the most famous drug running boats in history. And remember now, Miami was built on billions of dollars of drug running way back in the day. In fact, the whole Miami Vice series was because of that. And this boat was actually confiscated by the government. Here's another one of my good friends. Good to see you again. Yeah. He can do everything around here. I'm friends with everybody here. And around here, education, money means nothing. Everybody's on an equal playing field. We're all friends. We all have respect. One thing that bothers me in the boating world is you got these big rich guys that get all high and mighty, okay, and they think somehow they're more cool than the guy driving the forklift. Let me clue you in. On a busy Saturday afternoon, you're going to be hoping you're friends with the guy running the forklift, or your boat ain't getting in the water. That's why I get whatever I want. Friends with everybody, I tip everybody well, incredible respect. Okay, whether it's these people or a patient, it's the same story. Check out this guy. My boat has millions of views on YouTube. This boat probably has even more. One of the most famous drug running boats ever. Was bought by a gentleman who restored it beautifully, and it's a piece of South Florida drug running history. It's legendary. Ben Kramer. In fact, many people were suspicious that Ben Kramer was actually the guy that killed the cigarette guy. In fact, the guy that founded cigarette. It's possibly the most famous murder story in the history of South Florida. It's the most famous unsolved murder story in the history of South Florida. The guy that founded cigarette, Don Arano, got shot 5 times outside the cigarette factory about 2 miles from here. Nobody's ever found out who did it. And there's a lot of theories. So there's a lot of mystique around the cigarette brand. And certainly that yellow boat is an interesting part of history. So when I see that boat, it makes me realize I'm glad that I don't even drink coffee. I've never done any drug of any kind. I don't understand it. It's got to run on water, a little bit of food. You'll do just fine. In fact, it's interesting. The more people study nutrition, the more you hear talk about that, the less healthy the country gets. It's not hard. Now back to you. You're looking at your practice. You look at your volume. You look at the total number of people or families under care. You look at what you're collecting. You look at what you have in the bank. I was just doing some calculations on the plane today. If you retired at age 70 and you just live to age 85 or say even 90, you're going to need a minimum of $2 million to live a very modest lifestyle. I mean, nothing like you have right now. So where are you at in the process of saving up over $2 million? I'm telling you, man, if you're not on the right track, you need to stop right now, call me, and join our group immediately. Chiropractors, I'm telling you, like 75% of them are headed toward the falls, and you're going do and have no idea what's coming. People are clueless. They cannot see the future, even though it's racing towards you. You're going to need a lot of money. And chiropractors, in the end, and I've said this many times, I'll say it again now, in the end, you'll realize it was about the money. Serving people, good money flow systems, and accumulating. Here's another big dog. Another one at the top of the food chain called Kong. You can look it up on YouTube. So it's a call to action. I want to get better, improving all the different things I'm doing, training-wise, video-wise, live event-wise, my thought processes, my ability to inspire and motivate chiropractors like yourself. So I'm right there with you, okay? Top of my game, wanting to get farther on top of my game. And one of the saddest things I see is chiropractors that start to think they're awesome when they're actually average, there's never really been that awesome of a chiropractor in my group yet. There's been a lot of average ones who just did what they were supposed to do, but no single DC has broken 200,000 a month yet. But they run around collecting 80 or 100,000 a month and they think, oh, I'm so awesome, I don't need Tory anymore. It's like, are you kidding me? You're not even in the top 25% of the group. Don't ever think you're special. You're not, you're average. Most chiropractors aren't even average, actually. I'm encouraging you to be way above average with the hard work, the training, the continued coaching to really learn how to get to the ultra high levels. Low overhead, high fun, high profit, high generosity. See here, they got these monster forklifts. They have 30, 40, 50,000, right? They pull a boat in after a beautiful day on the water. Nice little calm bay here. Hanging out here, this is not an easy thing because every time you come in here, you have to back in. And with a boat like mine, this is an incredibly difficult task because the propellers are so close together and the thing is so long that 1 mile an hour of wind and that boat is gone, bouncing off other $1 million boats, you know. So you really have to know what you're doing here. In fact, even some of the people that sell these boats can't back them up. I got to call someone like me or Tomlinson, back the thing up for him. So, where do you stand in practice? How good do you really want to be? How high do you want to go? I'm encouraging you to go as far as you can. I'm going as far as I can till the end. It's called honor. Many chiropractors, not many, but a handful, the second they think they get a little money or they get a chance, they bail out. They quit. They quit. Almost as if to say that everything they ever said up to that point when they were a chiropractor was a lie. The second they had a chance to bail out, they bailed out and quit. They jumped ship. I'm not going anywhere. I've committed to this thing of chiropractic, helping people become successful chiropractors, get as many people in the world under chiropractic care, and I'm going till the end. Okay? It's called honor. I decided to do something, okay? And I'm going to finish what I started because I always finish what I start. I'm encouraging you to have the same philosophy. Be aware, put in the effort, and always finish what you start. That's the name of the game. I switched my winner's edge plate out for the cigarette plate. I'll put the winner's edge plate back on as we approach our next training that we're going to have down here in Florida. Well, I'm not taking the boat out today. I just came down here to check a few things out, say hi to some of my friends, stop by the grocery store, pick up a few things, have myself a good dinner tonight. Tremendous coaching calls this week. Tremendous amount of videos and material I want to make for my people, preparing for incredible upcoming events that we have to continue to create the most successful group of chiropractors in the world. If you're not a winner's edge person, of course, we'd love to see you be. Any questions you ever have about chiropractic, I am here. I am 100% dedicated to you, to your success now and all the way until you retire. Great job.